Hi there, this is Fixed It. Like everybody else, I've been tempted with these lovely little garden lamps, and you kind of use them for a season and they seem to be okay, and then you may be tempted to think of throwing them away because they've stopped working. But it's a quite straightforward process to reinvigorate them, and this is how. First thing to do obviously is to take the metal piece off, because that's sharp and you want it out of the way. The other thing that you can do is gently remove the top by twisting either clockwise or counterclockwise depending on where you are. So let's just, there you go, and that takes the glass tube off, which of course you can clean and polish to make it a bit more shiny. And this is the main unit itself. So on the top there's the photosensitive panel, and on the bottom is the LED, and then there's an on and off switch. This one, like a number of others, has got a faulty on and off switch, and I've got some where the switch has stopped working altogether. Okay, so what can you do to fix that? I'll show you how I fix this. The first thing we need to do is to remove the two screws, one at either side, with a small phillips screwdriver. Once the screws are removed, I want to take off this metal outer plate, and you can do that by just gently pushing on the outside of the edge. And you definitely need to take that off because you can't do the next step without it. Next, you want to take a small flat-headed screwdriver and just push it down one of the sides and lift off, and then lift it off gently, then have a look at where the wires are and you can see what's inside. The first thing I need to do is to make this safe, and I do that by taking out the battery. And what I need to do is to gently tease up the ends of these clips, and you need to do it very gently because they're only soft metal, and if you do it suddenly then you won't be able to do this many times before they completely snap off. And lift out that battery. As we can see, water's actually managed to get into this unit, and it's rusted the contacts on either side, so they'll need to be cleaned up. Also, there's some rust and dirt on the printed circuit board, and again we'll do something about that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of nail polish remover, because I've got some to hand, and some cotton wool swabs just to clean up that area. I tested the battery that was in there, and there was a fraction of a charge in there. Obviously with the rust and the oxidation of the contacts, the resistance goes up, and therefore the simple little cell can't really push any power in there. So with it cleaned, everything should be fine. What I'll do is I'll put this battery in a battery charger and charge it up to full spec, and then that'll last quite a long time. So if I turn over the unit, make sure that stays face down. Okay, and I try the switch, and as I say, the problem with this one is the switch is really not very good, and as you can see it's just faulting in and out, and it may stay on, it may not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass the switch, and before I do that I'm going to take the battery back out. Looking closely at the positioning of the switch and the unit, you can see that this part here is where the switch is, and there's only two solder points, so as you flick the switch, it switches between these two. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to a permanent on so never go around and switch them off anyway, by soldering across this joint here, and then the unit will be permanently on, so it'll charge and it will be off during the day because of its light sensitivity, and then at night it'll be on until it runs down. So I'll just solder across there. As you can see, I've now soldered across this joint, so replacing the battery with the photocell held down will turn the LED on permanently. Before I go any further, what I want to do is to try and prevent this rust and scale forming on these contacts on either end, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of axle grease or petroleum jelly, it'll do the same job, on these contacts. Now normally you try and keep grease off electrical contacts, but these do need some protection, and I'm going to put a drop on the end of the battery as well. Okay, I've applied the grease, and as you can see the LED's on. The main thing to do is to, before you close it up, is to wiggle the battery backwards and forwards to make sure it's got a good contact and you've taken off any crap on there. But as you can see, there's grease on the contacts and the LED's lit. Now I need to fold back these two pins and then reassemble the unit. So here's the cleaned up unit. The LED's off because it's in the light. As I turn it over, the LED comes on, so the on-off switch is pretty meaningless anyway. I suppose for storing in the winter. So that's been fixed. It's showing you how to dismantle and repair a garden LED light. I hope you liked the video, I hope you found it useful. If you do, give it a thumbs up and share it, and take a look at my other videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.